Okay, guys, out of the 4 species of African parrots we have had, which one's my favorite? Cape parrots or African greys, African Timnehs, which are African Grey Timnehs. That's number 2, and number 3, or Senegals. My mission is to help you have the most blissful bond with your parrot so that you get like the right parrot, you know how to take care of them, and you have that blissful bond. Now, I'm going to tell you what I have liked about each one of those 4 species, because my daughter actually posed the question to me. She's like, out of the Africans we've had, what's been your favorite? And I'm like, well, they all have their own unique thing, and so it's kind of hard to say. Hi, right, Max? Hi, Max. Hi, sweetie. I love when Max does that. He puts his head down and he wants pets. Hey, Max. Oh, stretch, stretch. Good stretch, Max. So maybe I'll start with what I do think is my favorite, which is the Cape Parrot. African Cape Parrots are in a way said to be like African Greys in the sense that they supposedly can talk. Now, I've had people say that theirs talk. I don't sit there and do a lot of talking to them. If my birds talk, and a lot of my birds do talk, that's great. If they don't, that's fine. And, you know, they all communicate anyway. Some of them use English words, and I just don't really focus on growing their vocabulary, and some of them just use birdie language. Cape Parrots, in a way, I guess I feel like they're one of the smartest and most emotionally connected. Since Max is showing you that he has no wing on that side, I will tell you that he came to us that way. We adopted him, and the breeder had said that his parents bit his toes and his wing. The reason is unknown. And so Max is just handicapped, and I still adore him. Look at him. Just flips his head down and says, pets, pets. I love capes. Look at this. It's just such a sweet, connected little bond, and so I really love that about them. They're super smart. I don't know if you heard him talking before. He was kind of going tweet, tweet, you know, I don't know, a soft little sound. As with African parrots in general, capes are pretty quiet. Come here, Max. I know, you fell. Unfortunately, since Max, are you okay, sweetie? Since Max is handicapped, he does fall a lot. So he has a modified cage and the whole 9 yards. We try to do the very most we can to help him. Okay, so I was saying that African capes are very much, and I do put capes in under one umbrella. It's really I even forget because I put them under one umbrella. Here in the US, we just tend to call them all capes. They are not true Cape Parrots because I don't know if Max would be the gray-headed or brown-necked, gray-necked. I forget. But here we don't have the true Cape, which is I'm gonna say it as best I can. I can't even say the Latin names. So instead, I'll tell you that I adore Max. If you have the chance to be around a Cape Parrot and they're tame, they're awesome. Now, the African Grey, what do I like about the African Greys? The African Grey Parrots are the only parrot I can think of and that I've experienced that is like a total, could be a stand-up comedian, a total joker. They are whimsical. They have timing. They know like the right time to say something funny or make a funny sound. It's so neat. I mean, they're kind of like hanging out in a way with your best friend, except this friend is, you know, not squawky loud, like, rah, rah, you know, not like that. They're pretty in tune to you. They're quiet, they talk. I mean, African Greys are awesome too. This is why when my daughter was like, which one have you liked most? I'm like, there's something I like about each one. Now with my Timneh, what I like about her is she's a little softer of a personality. African Grey Parrots are, in one of the ways I describe them, is aloof. Like I said, they are like hanging out with your best friend, but it isn't your like best friend that is a soulmate. It's more like just your best friend. And what I mean by that is when it comes to Timneh, my experience is, and I've only had one Timneh, we've had more than one gray, but Gaia, Bliss, our Timneh, she is a little softer, and hi sweetie, you want some more pets? And like she'll talk and she'll let you know when she wants, and I don't mean in English, right? She just goes rah, 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 I don't know, you know, birdie sounds. Lets us know when she wants to come out, when she wants to be with us. And it's just really keen on us and what's going on, and just keen on things. And it feels like she engages, but not in that whimsical, aloof way where it's kind of like she's just gonna have fun. It's more like in a more engaging with us kind of way. And so I really like that. She doesn't have that comical side. In a way, she's slower, and I don't know if all Timnehs are like that. Whereas the grays, they were a little more active, acrobatic. I mean, you could say like, no, I wouldn't say African grays, you would find them in Cirque du Soleil flipping around, although some do. And then like my Timneh, she's more like on a meditation retreat. She's kind of quiet. Now she is an adult. I haven't experienced a young one, but she's a little more quiet, a little more like, you can almost hear her going, So that's my experience, and that's sort of a distinction I find between African Greys and Timnehs. Next and not least are the Senegals. I have a friend who is, I think, getting a pair of Senegals to breed, and I'm like, yes, please breed them. Maybe one day I could get a baby and breed him too. I love Senegals. We used to have a Senegal, we had two, but Harry wasn't really tame. Hermione was. Even though Harry wasn't tame, he would hang out with our other birds. He was respectful of the other birds. He was nice to the other birds. And I don't remember whether or not he would step up. Like, he did not really, but he knew, like, the African birds are so smart. He knew us. He knew what we were doing. He knew we weren't a threat, you know. He just knew. He also didn't know how to sort of take the next step, and we weren't taming him. You know, and I don't know if he wanted to take the next step and get to know us. He really enjoyed hanging out with the birds. Hermione, on the other hand, I would do my yoga, and she would just crawl up and down me to the tallest part when I did my yoga. Like if I'd go down to do down dog, then she'd go, you know, up my back. And then if I'd stand up, then she'd go back up my body. Like, you know, it was like she just wanted to be around my heart. I mean, like, she was even closer in that sense. Unfortunately, she was a one-person bird, and African Greys can be like that too. I have found Capes can be like that, and actually our Timnehs like that. And I am not the chosen person with our Timneh, so I don't get the love. I still love her, but I don't have like as much of a bond with her because she really loves my husband. But my Senegal had been like that, and it just with a lot of parrots, you get the sense of loyalty, of devotion, like of a real bond, of a real connection. And yes, if you surprise them, they'll bite you. Yes, if they feel threatened, you know, or really unhappy for some reason, you're not paying attention to them, they're feeling lonely, they'll scream, you know, absolutely. But they also, if you put the time in and you spend time with them and they're part of your routine, like she was a part of my yoga, then there's this incredible bond. And it just so happens that I experienced, in a way, more of that bond with Hermione. I think some of it has to do with the fact that she's a little smaller. Out of the 4 species, the African Grey is going to be the largest. I'm going to say, I'm trying to remember, do you weigh more than our Timneh? It looks bigger than Max. And so I'm gonna guess, I can't remember what she weighs right now. I'm gonna guess that she's the next largest, and then the Capes are the next largest, and then the smallest are the Senegals. And so being smaller, it was easier, like in a way, Hermione was more all over me, you know. But I have always loved African parrots. They are one of my favorite species. Those are the 4 species I have experienced. I've never experienced like a Myers, or, you know, a couple others, but they are amazing, super intelligent. I love that they aren't super loud. I also love my South American parrots, like my Amazons and my macaw, but the noise level is something else. So the African Greys in that sense are a lot easier to live with noise-wise, and they are super intelligent. Not that my Latin American parrots aren't as well, but, and I should really say New World parrots, but they're different. So there you go. I hope that if you are interested in African parrots and getting one, that sort of gives you an idea between at least 4 of the species. If you want more information, make sure to get my book, Get to Know African Grey and Cape Parrots, where I'll talk about things like diet and the personality differences, and, you know, just give you all the information I could muster on African Greys and Cape Parrots, because I do adore them. I just adore them. Thanks. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. You can always join my Facebook group at Parrot Bliss. Visit my website, parrotbliss.com. And I will see you in the next video.